What up, Cowboy fans and YouTubers? It's that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. If you're with me, you think we got hosed last night. Let's just go ahead and get those housekeeping notes out the way, shall we? That was not offensive pass interference last night. That was a bunch of bull. I don't know what that was. Not to say that there was, some bad officiating back and forth earlier in the game with the roughing the passer calls that were not called. But when you got a game on the line, I'm sick and tired of a referee always seeming to be the one that's truly screwing us in the end. Now, I got it that we could have done better. We could have done a whole lot better on our own to take it out of the ref's hands, but it seems that no matter what, it's going to go against us, either offensively or defensively. I don't know why that is, but some people on Twitter have pointed out that Tony Correnti, the referee for that night, is from Los Angeles. We are opening a Los Angeles stadium, and teams more than not win their home opener, except for us. So, a lot of bias against us to begin with. Let's see. Speaking of more biases, if you think the offensive pass interference was dumb, what about the delayed game? Nobody talks about that delayed game penalty that should have been assessed in the third quarter or second quarter that led to a touchdown. There was no way. A video in slow motion showed that it was double zeros before Sean McVay got to that referee to call timeout. And yet, the same biased official said that it looked to him that he got there in enough time. Excuse me. In enough time that they gave him some leeway. Are you serious? Now all of a sudden you're giving somebody a leeway? Why do we never get leeway? Why do we never get these calls for us? I'm just trying to figure out some of these calls, man. I don't understand. The officiating screwed us again. We shouldn't have put ourselves in that position, but we did. The people who whine and complain about the fourth down conversion call, you complain if we go conservative and kick the field goal and lose. You complain if we don't make it and lose. There's just no winning that. You wanted somebody to be aggressive. He went aggressive. It didn't work. It happens. If we'd have got it, nobody'd be in the thing. Y'all be like, he's a freaking genius. So let's just go ahead and knock that right out, that at least he did and tried something different. Other notes? This was no different than any other season. It was the same vanilla offense, same vanilla defense. Y'all tried to change up the defense a little bit, but it definitely didn't show. I'm chalking this game up as their preseason game. Really. With no contact until now, you could tell how antsy they were to hit somebody, because before the first snap of the game, DeMarcus Lawrence is already jumping off sides. That's how antsy these guys were to hit somebody else. There was, 3 offsides the whole game? You got false starts on our own offensive line? Guys, come on, We're hurting ourselves more than we help. And that's nothing new. This is the same stuff we talk about with the last regime, that we sometimes just play undisciplined ball. And I think these guys are just trying to get themselves out from being locked up, cooped up, and not touching each other for months. So now they're trying to get it, get the movement, get the flow going. You could tell because Jalen Smith, he played a little slow. He looked sluggish. He was off. His reads were a little slow. His change of momentum was off. He missed tackles. Well, the whole defense missed a lot of tackles, but The fact that you have about 3 straight seasons of film on this team, and it looked like 2018 playoffs all over again. Bootlegs, screens, and y'all still fall for the same shit over and over again. I don't know how y'all haven't figured out in 3 years how to not fall for the same shit over and over again. I don't know. It's not like they're doing anything different. It's the same Sean McVay offense, and y'all fall for it every single fucking time. I don't know why that is. Injuries. Injuries played a big part in us just being picked off. We lost Cam Irving, apparently to a sprained MCL. He was rolled up on by Tyler Biadasz on a field goal attempt, and he's going to be gone for a couple weeks. And only other offensive lineman we have left that we didn't cut or waive injured is Brandon Knight. So look for them to come up with another tackle to bring in to work out this week, because I hate to say it, sorry brother, Terrence Steele, but you were not it, bro. There was a lot of plays where you just whiffed on your blocks. You were out of position. You looked confused. You were getting manhandled out there. I mean, if anything, just anchor down in one spot and try not to move. Something, because they definitely targeted you when the game was on the line, and you lived up to their expectations of being our weak point. Receivers didn't really drop the ball like last year. Dalton Schultz, unfortunately, dropped a couple that could have got us some first downs. Their defense was like right on top of us. It looked like the same old Scott Linehan offense. Because no matter what we did, it seemed like their DBs were right on top of us. It's like, what the hell? You know, we not really creating separation, and it's the same old stuff. Our defense looked slow. Our pass rush did not get home, but there were a couple times when they were just a split second off. Cheeto got an interception. He turned around, located the ball, made a great play. Aldon Smith, thank you for creating the turnover, helping create turnover. He was in Jared Goff's face more than anybody. Aldon Smith is a great reclamation project. That boy looked like no rust on him. Trayvon Diggs almost had 2 interceptions, come to think of it. He had that clear fair ball that he just mistimed his jump, and he just missed it. And the other one was he didn't have enough ups on the long ball that was right over his head to Jefferson. He was in position. He had his head turned around. It was just like those videos that they put out during training camp. He just didn't get up there enough to deflect the ball, but his hands placement and everything was right where it needed to be. He was just off. But being thrown to the fire, he played pretty darn well for what he had to do out there. For everybody saying, go out and get Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas is going to save everything. No, he's not. Stop calling for Earl Thomas. He is not going to come in and turn around this whole defense by himself. Darian Thompson, for those who y'all say is no good, he actually had 9 tackles on his own. I think he assisted in another couple. So he played his ball. Xavier Woods, he played his ball. The safeties aren't the problem if you're getting ran up the middle or getting screen passes past your linebackers. Now it's up to you in the corners to make up for it. So yeah. It's not just going to be all on the safeties to do everything. So I'm tired of hearing about this Earl Thomas talk. We have a lot more positions of need due to injury right now that we need more than an Earl Thomas coming in here and doing whatever the hell he's going to do. I'd rather spend the cap money on players that we know can come in and help right away than an Earl Thomas who may or may not be better than Darian Thompson or Donovan Wilson. We don't know. These guys just happen to get started in their careers now because they were held back from the last coaching regime. But, yeah. It was vanilla. It was a preseason game to me. They looked like the same old Cowboys. I don't think McCarthy really gave a crap about really showing anything different. He looked like he treated this one as a way to get these guys a little bit of live contact finally after training camp. And I think if we had a regular off season, we'd have won this game. They'd have already had all this stuff figured out. You'd have found out if Terrence Steele was any better than Cam Irving or any of the other guys who got hurt or cut. And they'd have been rolling with that. Unfortunately, Leighton Vander Esch is going to be out 6 to 8 weeks due to a broken collarbone. That's a huge loss, especially with Sean Lee out for 2 more weeks as well. You have Luke Gifford, who was inactive. You got Francis Bernard, who's on the practice squad. You got Joe Thomas and what's his name? Justin March. So you have linebackers with experience and who have flashed brilliance in the past, who can come in to offset those Lee and Vander Esch being out. But it's a basic numbers game now. They're just going to have to go out and look at right tackles and linebackers, because those two are numbers liability right now. Offense, C.D. Lamb actually caught 5 passes for 59 yards. He's just got to learn to get to the sticks before he makes his cuts, because he was in position that he could have got a first down, but he cut it short, and that's why we came up a yard short later in the game on the 3rd down. Our 3rd down efficiency's got to get better. That was horrible. My God. I don't know what's going on with that. One year you're great at it. One year you're horrible at it. Dak Prescott threw for 25 out of 39 for 266 yards with a 6.8 average, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and he was sacked 3 times. One, it looked like he could have got the ball off to a streaking CD up the middle, but he decided to tuck it back and take the hit. I don't know if that was a great plan, but I think in his mind, he'd rather have taken that sack than let the ball fly out there and never know what could have happened. Because if you look at the Carson Wentz earlier in the day, that's what happened to him. He just let it fly instead of trying to tuck it in most times, and the ball just fluttered up there. He did rush 3 times for 30 yards. So for everybody hating him, he did see that he had nothing opening when the pocket collapsed around him, and he did take off. So we did see that part of his game. Unfortunately, we didn't see any bootlegs from us or play action. We did see some screens from Zeke and Pollard, and they look pretty good back there doing those. So that's a game that they said they will incorporate. And for what little bit of sample size we did see, it did look good. Zeke caught 3 catches for 31 yards and a touchdown. And he also had 22 runs of 96 yards and a touchdown. And if you didn't see it, Zeke got a giant "Feed Me" tattoo on his stomach with a spoon. Great. Now let's see if it comes to fruition. Pollard did get 2 catches. No, he ran 2 times for 10 yards, but he did have 2 catches as well for 22 yards. He could have had more gains, but the pockets around him just kind of collapsed a little too quick. But you could show that it can be seen that Zeke and Pollard both have some burst, and if they can get a hole, they can take it. Unfortunately, Blake Jarwin caught 1 catch for 12 yards before he tore his ACL, and he will be done for the season, unfortunately. So chalk up another tight end to be looking at as well on that list of linebackers and right tackles. We really didn't hear anything out of the tight ends during training camp, and I guess they settled on who they had, and now it's coming back to kind of bite them. We do have a guy on practice squad, McKeon, I think his name is, but looks like they're going to run with Blake Bell, Schultz, and somebody else. Schultz had 1 catch for 11 yards. Unfortunately, I think he dropped 2 major passes on third downs, and that stopped our momentum, unfortunately. Michael Gallup had 3 catches for 50 yards, which would have been almost 100 yards if that pass interference didn't get called. Coop, who everybody says can't play away, had 10 catches for 81 yards. He was blanketed most of the game by Jalen Ramsey. And we beat him most of the times, but he also gained on them, especially that one third down try conversion that Coop had it, but got blasted so quick after he had possession that the ball fell out of his hand. Thankfully, they got the call right, even though they initially called it a fumble. They tried to screw us out of that one, but it was not a fumble. He didn't have enough time of possession because he got hit as soon as he got that ball, which goes back to vanilla offense. It looked like these guys were just draped all on top of our receivers. A lot of times, the balls were batted away because they were already on top of the receiver before they had a chance to go at the ball. So, it's crazy. Let's see. As a team, they had 136 rushing yards total. But when you still got outgained, I think the Rams had almost 500 yards total. 360, I do believe. And they won the time of possession by over 11 more minutes. It's not going to be conducive to us winning unless we're creating more turnovers, you know? And there were chances that it looked like we could have done something in the pass rush and disrupted things. As I have said before, if you can't get to the quarterback, just put your hands up. Just put him up and try to knock the balls down, or at least have to have him throw the balls over your hands. Just give him something else he can't see with your hands going up in the way, you know? But that didn't happen. Cheeto, for all the stuff we gave him, he had that interception and he had 2 tackles. He played pretty darn well. Of course, we already talked about our safeties. Aldon Smith, our great reclamation project, had 6 tackles, and I think he had 2 assisted tackles, plus our only sack of the game, which is, compared to the Redskins sacking 8 times earlier in the day, 1 sack ain't gonna cut it with our pass rush. We got to do better. Tristan Hill was out there. He looked pretty good, especially that play he tried to chase down Jared Goff. Man, that boy, he's definitely trying to earn his stripes, and kudos for him. Let's see, our kickers had Greg Zierlein missed a 53-yarder, and as we reported earlier, he wasn't even given the chance in training camp to kick past 50 yards because they said they would never even try it. And then first game, that's exactly what you had to try to do, and he missed it. He did nail a 33-yarder later, and he didn't get the other opportunity to try and tie it up later because we went and forgoed that option. Chris Jones looks a lot better. People were hating on him because his averages came down, but he had 4 kicks with a 39-yard average, and his longest was 54 yards. So, out of all that breakdown, I do that to say we looked vanilla yesterday. It looked like a preseason game. I hope they got their bugs out, their kinks out. They're figuring stuff out this week. Now they can see what they truly have, what the players got on a vanilla type of offense and defense. And now we don't really have anything to show Atlanta's for next week at home. So now we can go in with something different, and at least we can surprise somebody if we come out running different stuff next week. Hopefully they'll go out and look for some extra players due to the injuries. Unfortunately, injuries happen, and it happened at some of the most inopportune times, but it happens. Congratulations to the Washington football team. They took care of the Eagles, who were pretty much all but confident when they were up 17-0, to basically you can't find them. Let's see. Tonight we have the Giants playing the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. So in the end, Washington could actually be the only team in the NFC East to get a win this week. Crazy to think that, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. That's football. We've been waiting months for it, and this is what we got. Coaching decisions look pretty bland, but I expect better things, and I think they expect better things themselves. They just wanted to see what they had. Coach McCarthy going for it. I think it's bold. It's better than what Garrett would have done. Because either way, even if he kicked the field goal, we still could have lost later in the game or in overtime because our defense didn't look like they were going to stop them no matter what. And, yeah, I got high hopes for the future. I hope to see something different next week. If not, oh well. Hopefully we can still get a win. We will have a bit of a home crowd because I think we will have people in the stands. We'll have to see. But that's my opinion. Hope you share yours in the comment section below. Share this video. Subscribe. Like. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. Hit the subscribe button. Hope you liked it. And we'll wait till next week, or if any other news comes out, we'll get it to you. Until then, have a good, safe Monday, and we'll talk to you later. Hey, Dallas Cowboy fan, out.